Hi, it's Sakura with the Superior Book Club. This week we are discussing Secret Wars. That would be Secret Wars 2015. Now, a little backstory on Secret Wars. In the 1980s, they decided to do Secret Wars, and that was basically a 12-issue toy commercial. Now, in the original Secret Wars, you had the Beyonder, which was a Q-like creature, and he kidnapped a bunch of people from the 616 to do battle for him. The winner's going to get all kinds of power. Then, after that, they decided to have Secret Wars 2, where the Beyonder comes to Earth to understand people. And during that, Spider-Man teaches the Beyonder how to poop. So after that, we come to now, which is what we're covering, which is Secret Wars 2015. Now, Doom ends up killing all the Beyonders and stitching together a new battle world. So, first of all, I have to say that Secret Wars was very poorly planned. It was a summer event that ended in January. Uncanny 600 came out after Secret Wars, but took place before Secret Wars. And everything picks up 6 months after Secret Wars without any explanation of what happens in the middle, which just added to the confusion. The one good thing would be this is the first time that a comic lists the who's who and who's on what side at the beginning of the comic. So in Secret Wars 0, you have the Future Foundation, that would be the Richards kids and some others, building a life raft to survive the end of, well, everything. The only hope left is to save some people to rebuild humanity. And the last two universes to collide were the Ultimate Universe, which is 1610, and the regular Marvel Universe, which is 616. And yeah, 616 is also the name of the bus on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In issue 1, they did this really cool thing. We had some either black or white, and it fades back and forth, and it was really dramatic. And what happens in this one is you have 16 Richards, and he's evil, and then you have Thanos and a bunch of his thugs as 616 thugs. They're over on in the Ultimate Universe, and you have the 616 folks and the 1610 folks, and they're just duking it out. And then Psyche becomes Phoenix, and Manifold sacrifices himself to beam everyone they need to the ship, which doesn't really do much good because the passenger part of the ship breaks away and very few people actually make it out. Meanwhile, Miles slips aboard the life raft on 1610, where the Maker and Thanos and all of the 616 villains that were with Thanos escape. They call them the Cabal. And then you have issue 2, which starts immediately on Battleworld. And God Emperor Doom wove together pieces of the multiverse with the help of Strange. And then you have the Thor Corps, which are police, which includes Throg, Frog of Thunder, which is in one of the side books. A couple of the other side books that were really good were The Years of Future Past. They have their own universe, their own barony in Battleworld. And you have Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, which became its own book afterwards. And all the kingdoms are ruled by barons, and hold on a second here. Okay, just trying to remember where I left off. The kingdoms are ruled by barons, and Susan and Valeria and Franklin are all part of Doom's family. He kind of adopted them, or they remember him as being with them instead of Richards. But what I really didn't like is that Valeria and Susan Richards are both drawn exactly the same. You have a hard time telling who's who. And so you have and in this issue, the versions of the Future Foundation, all those same kids who built the life raft, their Battle World versions, find the Cabal's life raft. And then the Cabal come out, and there's a murder spree where they kill a whole bunch of Thors. And then when Strange investigates, Miles shows up, and Doctor Strange is surprised that Miles remembers. And Doom is off talking with Susan at this time, and he seems very human. And he told Susan everything, her loving Reed and the world before and all that, which is just surprising. Then Strange apparently was holding on to the 616 life raft, and I thought it was really cool that Peter and Miles actually know each other, so I'd be interested in finding out what issues they've interacted with each other in before, so I can go back and read them, because chances are good my husband, who has all but 17 issues of Amazing, has those issues. And we're told that Battleworld has been around for 8 years at this point. Strange ends up defying Doom to protect the 616 crew, and he sends everyone off, scatters them throughout Battleworld, and Doom ends up killing him. So then you have issue 5, and things start getting a little more interesting here, and hold on just a second. So Molecule Man shows up, and he was in the first Secret Wars, and went during Secret Wars, Beyonder was talking to him, and he convinced the Beyonder to try and be human, which led to Spider-Man teaching the Beyonder how to poop. So apparently, Molecule Man was a bomb meant to destroy every single universe, and there are pieces of him in every single universe. And so he decided to create these black swans that were supposed to kill each and every one of them. So he's setting them off at different times, hoping to eventually save the 616. But each one that's killed drives him a little more crazy. So he and Doom decided to kill the Beyonders and take their powers. And he is the focal point of the power, and Doom just sort of directs it. Yeah, so the Foundation kids have started getting suspicious because Doom isn't really telling them everything. And Peter and Miles, they go and they talk to the Molecule Man. And here's an interesting thing. Apparently, Miles' costume has pockets, because inside one of the pockets is a hamburger that he feeds the Molecule Man, Owen Reese. And that hamburger is 8 years and 3 weeks old, but Reese loved it. So there's this prophet also right now that's going across Battleworld, and I'm telling you, Secret Wars is just all over the place all the time. So it's not just me, it's the comic. It's all over the place all the time. And so Maximus, who I think is an Inhuman, although I don't know what his superpower is, he's the prophet, and he's going to overthrow Doom, because all the people who remember want to overthrow Doom, and Maximus is part of that cabal. And another weird thing was Sinister's head was talking. That was kind of cool. Apparently, Captain Marvel had turned Sinister. Captain Marvel was one of the 616 survivors. And Thor, who was also a 616 survivor, although I still say it shouldn't be Jane, it should be Thor's daughter, Taryn, because it looks like Taryn, but that's for another day. She turns all the Thors to attacking Doom. And then Maestro brings all the Hulks down, and that was a lot of Hulks. So, at the same time, the Black Panther has gone to get the zombies. Now, how can Black Panther control zombies? What I want to know. And this all happened in issue 7 of 9. Yep, up till now, there were only 8 issues. At this point, with all the delays, this event was already dragging on. It was already into fall, pushing towards winter, and all of a sudden you get, instead of 7 of 8, it's 7 of 9. While cool if you're watching Star Trek Voyager, not so cool if you're reading an event that really you just want to end at this point. So then issue 8, which was, of course, like I said, supposed to be the end, you have the big battle. You have Maximus, and you have the Thors, and it's just utter chaos. And then Ben comes up, and he was the wall that was keeping Marvel zombies out of the rest of the world. So then the Black Panther comes with them, and they're all attacking, and still really big chaos. And then Ben finds out that the kid he was fighting was Franklin, and he won't attack Franklin because Franklin is Sue's kid. And then what I thought was going to be a really cool fight, Thanos versus God Emperor Doom. Like, wow, this is going to be great. Over in 2 seconds. Yeah, what a waste. Finally, we get to issue 9. It's January. I want it over. You have the Black Panther with the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's still just distracting Doom because both Reed Richards are sneaking down to talk to Molecule Man. When Doom realizes it, he goes down, talks with Molecule Man, and honestly, he should have fed Owen. Because the Molecule Man refuses to let him have his power, so you have Richards and Doom, they're duking it out, they're equals. That's the good Richards, because they got rid of the bad Richards. I don't even remember how, because it was that boring. There was this one checkered page where they're talking back and forth, and I don't get it. The page was busy. I never understood any of it. And then, in the end, Richards goes, I think I can do better than you with the powers. And then he says, you know it too, don't you? And Doom goes, yes. And Owen instantly gives the power to Reed instead of Doom. And Reed creates the world, and it looks mostly like the 616. Battle World's destroyed. A new 616, what I like to call 616.1, is created. 8 months later, you have both Miles and Peter fighting together. They're both in the new universe, which, like I said, I like to call 616.1. It shows Franklin and Reed creating this new, not just universe, but a multiverse. It specifically says they're creating many universes. So that is interesting. And then it shows Doom standing on the balcony in his castle, and his face is healed, which is probably my best scene in the whole thing, because Doom looks wonderful. It's, he brought everyone that he could back, including Doom. And he was able to heal him when Doom could not heal himself. So, that was great. Overall, I hated Secret Wars. It took too long. It was too all over the place. The side books were better than this book. Now, I read X-Men 92, which was the animated series universe in Battle World, and I read Years of Future Past, which was a kingdom that was based on the dystopic future from Days of Future Past. And those were really great. Other people loved Renew Your Vows. And so the problem was with the big event, all the delays. Maybe if it had come out on time like it was supposed to, it might have been better. I don't know, because when I get to the end now, I'm still like, wow, this dragged on forever, and it's all over the place. So that is my review this week, and I will check you all on Twitter. I'm at Sakra_XP, and I'm part of the Superior Squad. Make sure you check out the Superior Comic Show on YouTube. They do a really great thing, and they are the head of our Superior Squad and our book club. So, talk to you later. Bye.